So let's look the good, the bad, the ugly, and why maybe you might not agree with me on this. So do you ever get this feeling like deep in your gut and you're like, I want to make a move or I need to make a decision. And then you talk to a friend and they're thinking the exact same thing as you and just the lights go on and everything just seems so much clearer. Well, it kind of happened to me today. I was talking with my buddy JJ Buckner, who's pretty much releasing a video exactly like this. And he was telling me, Brad, I'm just not feeling Robinhood. We were talking about an upcoming episode for the podcast. And he's like, it's giving me like this feeling in my stomach. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. I've wanted to get out of Robinhood and move my brokerage accounts. And he's like, I'm doing it already. I'm in the process of doing it. And like, it was great for me to hear it from him because A, I respect his opinion and he's a really freaking smart guy, but two, it confirmed the feelings that I've been feeling inside. And those are the feelings that I want to share with you. And some people may not agree with me and some people, might agree with me. That's not the point. The point is just to show you my perspective and maybe get the wheels turning to maybe show you the things that I think in case you have that gut feeling and you might want to hear it from me. So early August 2017, I heard from a buddy about this new app and you were allowed to make trades with no commission fees. And at the time, that was crazy. It was mind blowing. Like one of the worst things about E-Trade and all these other platforms at the time was that you had to pay a fee every single time you wanted to make a trade. And Robinhood got rid of this. So it was worth giving it a try. I was actually really, really excited. And over the last 3 years, I've pretty much had a great experience with Robinhood. I don't have too much to complain about. And to be honest, I still recommend it to other people. Like, I don't want you to think like I'm going against all the things and all the positive things I've ever said against Robinhood because that's not the case. It's just the feeling that I'm having. And to be honest, some of the really great things that Robinhood has is partly the reason that I want to go. And I'll talk about that in a second. But just remember, guys, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. The same opinion is why I don't like to go 120 miles on a motorcycle anymore. And some people do, or some people like to skydive. And I think it's sketchy. Like, just because it's sketchy to me doesn't mean it's bad. It's just I'm an adult now and I can make those decisions for myself. And Robinhood is just leaving me with this uneasy feeling that I don't need to feel. I have other options, and I'll tell you that option at the end of this video. First, the good, the things that I still love and why I still will use it on a small percentage and what I'm actually going to use it for. It is really hands down the easiest interface to use. It's the easiest to put money in. It's easy to get money out. It's easy to make trades. The trades are commission free, but it kind of like gamifies it a little bit and it gives you this false sense of security and makes you maybe do things that you might want to do. And that's like a problem I have. Like, for example, how easy it is to get margin on Robinhood and the fact that I am opening the app every day and every day I'm tempted to maybe go into margin. And I know that margin's terrible for me, but it's right there. Where in other brokerages account, you may not log on or see the app every single day and your investments might be more set it and forget it and there's not that temptation. Robinhood gives me a lot of these temptations. It shows me popular stocks that I may never want to do and it shows me hype stocks and things like that. So like the good things that it has about like the information it gives you and the ease of it and the ease of the platform, that's really one of the things that's driving me away from it. But because of that ease, I am going to keep it for things like trading options. Like I love the wheel. It's so easy to do the wheel on Robinhood. It's quick, it's free, there's no fees. So I'll probably be keeping a little bit of money in there. And when I say I'm getting out, I mean, my portfolio value between my cash and my stocks was getting to about $30,000. And for me, that's a lot of money. And when I got to that $25,000 mark, like I said, I just started to feel like, man, what could potentially happen to this money and what would I do about it if something did go wrong? So this isn't I'm selling off my stocks. This is I'm moving my stocks into a different brokerage. And the other reason, full transparency, that I really continued with Robinhood was for this YouTube platform. It's what people were using and I wanted to stay up to date with what people were using. And I think I stayed with it as long as I did because of YouTube and I didn't want to like fall off of those popular videos and the algorithms, but I realize now I can still show you the things that I'm buying. I can still show you the things I'm selling and options all within another brokerage account that frankly, I just sleep better at night being involved with. So first we'll start with like the thing that I really just dislike the most about it. And I don't think it's one of those things you realize until you deal with a regular brokerage account. And that's the ability to speak to a human and the whole customer service in general. It is so ridiculous that this app now is multiple years old. Like I said, I've been using it for over 3 years. And if I have an issue or a question, I can't just call somebody and talk to somebody on the phone. I got to make an email. I got to write that email up, and writing email sucks. Then I have to wait for them to get it a couple of days, and they're going to send it back to me with a couple follow-ups. And at the end of the day, it takes a week for me to hear back. And a lot of the questions I'm asking them are time sensitive questions. And that's super, super frustrating to me, where you could call pretty much any other brokerage, any of the major brokerages, and get somebody on the phone immediately and just talk to them immediately and get your answer done immediately. And I was kind of like, all right, is this ever going to happen? Are they going to add it? How hard would it be? They're making some money. Like, give me somebody to talk to. And they just never did. And to be honest, it's like a little bit of an uneasy feeling for me. Not like from a security and my money standpoint, but I have questions, especially when I'm making videos. I always want to give you guys valid information. And sometimes I call a brokerage up before I make a video, but I can't do that with Robinhood. I always have to go by what other people are saying or what I get in this like weird email response, auto-generated response to them. Customer service in this day and age is so, so important, especially when it comes to money, in my opinion. And the fact that they haven't done that yet, and it doesn't show that it's like much of a priority to them, that makes me like a little bit queasy. It just gives me an uneasy feeling. I just don't like it. Now, we all have heard about like their crash back in March, and I got to be honest, I wasn't directly affected by that crash, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but it still happened, right? It was still there. And I just can't help but think like, what would happen if it happened again? Like, it happened a second time, maybe why not a third time? Like, why am I going to continue to roll the dice on them potentially crashing again? And back then in March, I was like, okay, I did the old, like, they're a new company, they'll figure it out. And then it happened a second time. It's like, I just don't know why I need to worry about that. Like I said, if there was no other options, I'd be like, okay, I'll deal with it. I'll figure it out. But there are better options out there as far as I'm concerned. So like, I just don't want to continue to roll the dice anymore on a potential outage. And I don't feel any better about it not happening. I mean, pretty much daily when I log on, there is something telling me that certain features are not going to be available because of high volatility. It's like, you still are having high volatility. You still have so many users that at any minute your app can just diminish. Like, why isn't this a focus for them? And I feel like it should be. I don't want to go on and like have things like my average cost basis, or did something get fulfilled, or did something get assigned? Like, I don't want to wait days for that to update, right? I'm using numbers. I'm using all these things. And to me, it's like, when is it going to crash again? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when for me. And when it does happen, I don't want to be there, because I'm not even going to be able to call anybody, because it's going to happen to a bunch of people, and God only knows when I'm going to hear back from them and get my money back from them, even if I can. And you might have seen recently, I know a bunch of other YouTubers have done videos about this specifically, but people's accounts being looted. Guys, I don't think that's Robinhood's fault. People are getting access to other people's account and taking the money. And Robinhood has two-factor authorization. They have two-factor authorization, so they're doing what they need to do, but like, it still happened. Like, you don't hear about like Charles Schwab or Fidelity or Vanguard, people hacking into their accounts. Like, you just don't hear it. The fact that it's not Robinhood's fault doesn't take away from the fact that it happened, and it's still in the back of my mind and still making me feel, like I said, like all these things piling up. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back when I saw this. Even though it really wasn't their fault, it still happened. It's still negative press. We need them to, the last time they had good press was when they released their app and they had 0% fees, and everybody else following has 0% fees now. So when's the last time Robinhood had any good press? In years. They haven't had any good press in years, in my opinion, that I've seen. You can let me know if you've seen something different. I just see over the long term, like, I want to grow my portfolio to millions of dollars. I do. And I just want to be with a company that's a little bit more reputable, that has better insurance policies, that I could just sleep better at night, that I could talk to somebody on the phone that's not in the media all the time for having bad outages and glitches and things like that. That's what I want to do. I just couldn't see myself waking up one day and having like $250,000 or $500,000 in a Robinhood app. I just couldn't see it happening. Now, for people that are new to investing, yeah, it's a great platform. I'm still going to keep some money in there. I'm still going to be doing the wheel strategy. But as far as like my growth portfolio and my big dividend portfolio, and really what I'm going to be planning to use outside of like trendy YouTube videos and growing for my future, I can still talk about everything that's going on over there and sleep better at night. So if you have a Robinhood account, I'm not saying you have to get rid of it. I'm not like, it's still going to be on my phone. But just think about all the other options you have. And think about if all of the headaches that they have going on, if it's just worth it to you. To me, it just wasn't worth it anymore. So I've switched and I'm going to be moving over to Vanguard. I have a small brokerage account with them already, but mostly just I had my Roth IRA with them. And also too, like with this, I can put my wife's name and my name. We could have a joint brokerage account. I can have everything in one spot. I know that Vanguard's interface stinks. I'm actually curious to see which one JJ went with because I'm pretty sure he didn't go Vanguard because he hates their interface so much. But I'm going with Vanguard. I love Vanguard. I love VTSAX. I love their Roth IRA. I've had it for years, and that's where I'm going to be moving. They have a much better insurance policy as far as the cash that you are holding in a brokerage account, as well as your securities inside your brokerage account. And like I said, I'm looking forward to just sleeping a little bit better. If you are looking to do this, guys, you really have two options. You can call the broker that you want to use, and they'll help you transfer the money right from Robinhood over there. You're probably going to pay a fee. Sometimes that new brokerage will eat that fee for you, and they'll reimburse you for that fee. Or if you have a small portfolio or like a dividend portfolio that doesn't have a ton of capital gains, you could just sell them off, avoid the fees, and just buy into it. It's really up to you. I'm probably just going to move them over. The company, Vanguard, they said that they should be able to work with me and get my fees reimbursed. If they can't, I don't think I have a ton of capital gains, especially with the losses that I took in March in the dip. So I might just do that. Like I said, I'm not selling stocks. I'm just going to be moving them. So even if I sell them a little bit low, I'm going to be buying them low in a couple days, and my basis should be about the same. I'll love your opinion on this, guys, because we are in this together. Leave down in the comments below. Are you with me? Are you against me? Do you think I'm an idiot? And have you seen JJ's video? What brokerage did he end up going with? And until I see you guys in the next one, stay positive, work really, really hard. Always, please be kind to other people. Hope you have yourself an amazing day and an even better tomorrow.